Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our April the 12th regular school board meeting here in St. Lucie County. Uh, Welcome to each and every one of you that have been able to attend this evening, as well as those of you that are attending through our media station. We thank you for attending our St. Lucie County regular meeting. At this time, I'm going to ask everyone, will you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, as well as the Treasure Hunters Pledge. Please remain standing for the Treasure Hunters Pledge. As an adult treasure hunter, I am committed to search for all the talents, skills, and intelligence that exist in all children and youth. I believe all children are capable of success, no exceptions. You may be seated. We are now going to open up our public hearing, which is the next item on the agenda. A public hearing is for anyone who wishes to address the board concerning the materials on the list attached to this agenda item. Superintendent recommends the board adopt the proposed text of mathematic instruction materials as presented and attached to the agenda. At this time, is there anyone from the public that would like to address this item? Okay, I see that there's one hand and two, okay. Please, we have two of them, I'm told the superintendent have said, so I don't know which two it is, but, you see two, you see names here? Oh, okay, let's see. Okay, I only have one sheet for that, I think. Yep. Okay, this is for something else here. So I have one sheet here.
Madam Chairman, it is a public hearing, so they can just come forward and speak.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I'm thinking
Yes,
I
ma'am.
don't really need the sheet at all. So you do have 3 minutes. So please, those of you, public hearing, please come and stand and just come right to the podium. So someone, I have a sheet here for Alberto. Oh, you're going to go right there, ma'am, right there. Okay. If you are here to speak on this item, please come to the podium now so that we can keep it moving. I have an Alberto here. Is that one of our speakers that are going to, no? Okay, so that's a schedule. That's something else. Okay. All right, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Karen Wise.
Again,
Nice
you
to
have,
meet you.
just one moment. You have 3 minutes, and our
Yes.
attorney will keep track of that.
Thank you.
You may speak.
Okay. I wanted to draw your attention to the materials that are currently posted on the district's website. If you notice on the first page of the handout that you just received, you can see that it references a virtual nerd tutorial videos. And it shows that there are tutorial videos for every lesson in the program, 3 different viewing windows, which let students review math concepts in the visual way that best helps them learn. Students can easily drill down to another video to review the prerequisite content, and then it's available with Spanish closed captioning. But then if you go to the second page, what you'll notice is there's an iPhone app, but that you download, and it just says Common Core. And there's nothing in there about Florida's new math standards, and those are not Common Core. So, but this is what the marketing materials say to download and use. And if you download this app, and you can do it if you have an iPhone, but I wasn't able to find one for an Android. So if you have an iPhone, you can see that when you touch the button for the Common Core on this app, it will show you the Common Core standards written out, and then that's where the videos are that were referenced on the previous page, but they're for Common Core standards. And so after going through the app myself, I didn't see anything about Florida's new standards or even anything about Florida. So, and then I asked somebody with an Android to look for me, and they weren't able to find it either. So that would mean that parents and students that have Androids are not going to have an app for that, and that's probably about, I don't know, like half, I would guess, of people. So I just wanted to make sure the board was aware of that, that the Common Core, that this app is for Common Core, and that's what the students and parents are supposed to download.
Thank you, ma'am, for your comments. And if you don't mind, please state your name as well.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, Ethan Fieldman, Madam Chairwoman, and members of the board. Appreciate the time here. I am the co-founder of Math Nation, one of the instructional materials that was considered by the district. We've worked in the district for a long time now, had a great relationship. The other co-developer on the program is the University of Florida Lastinger Center for Learning. There's a handout in front of you that I believe was passed out. It's a color handout with half blue, half white. Just want to make sure you all have that. I'm just going to walk you through that for 2 minutes if that's okay. Do you all have that? Okay, wonderful. Thank you. So I just wanted to go over the teacher preferences because, of course, we want to value our teachers' preferences on what they'd like to have for their instructional materials. On number 1A on the top left, you can see that if you look at the classroom teachers, this is from the actual scores from the teachers of the curriculum here. There's 71% more teachers prefer Math Nation over Savvis. So just looking at the teachers who looked at the two curriculum and compared them, Savvis and Math Nation being the two highest scoring instructional materials. And if you look at 1B, the school's preferences, 9 local schools preferred Math Nation over Savvis, and 5 schools preferred Savvis over Math Nation. Again, this is just looking at the data from a spreadsheet that was made by the teacher scores. Now, if you look at number 2 on the top right, you'll see that the district average points, has Savvis over Math Nation, which seems strange, right? Because teachers prefer Math Nation over Savvis. So how does Savvis have more points? Well, first of all, this graph that was given to the board, this chart that was given to the board is not exactly correct because those scores you see on the piece of paper or from the PowerPoint you have, those are just the high school scores. The middle school scores are actually different from those. That's number 1. But number 2, I'll give you an example of the problem with the mathematics, the issue here, which is if you look at number 3, a Forest Grove Middle School teacher scored the following. She put Savvis at 185 points, which is a great score, a very high score, which brings up the average for Savvis. But Savvis was her least favorite curricula. As you can see on the scores that I put there, she gave 200 points to Big Ideas, 200 points to McGraw-Hill, and 185 to Savvis. But she did not look at Math Nation. So what you have here is the way that it was done, which is a little bit different from how the other school districts do it, was teachers grabbed a couple curricula and gave them points. And we're comparing point scores from different people that did not both look at Math Nation versus Savvis. And typically what happens is you find the top 2 finalists or top 3, and then the teachers vote based off of that. Here it was all done points
15
together.
seconds remaining.
Thank you. If I may just have 30 more seconds, Madam Chairwoman.
Well, we have others that'll be speaking. but
understood.
We're getting your point.
Understood. If you look at the teachers who looked at Savvis but did not look at Math Nation, they score Savvis very high. But if they saw Math Nation, they scored Savvis 20 points lower. So by seeing the Math Nation curriculum, for those folks that actually
That's
looked at
time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. Appreciate
Thank
it. We'll have the next public hearing speaker.
Good evening, school board. My name's Sean. You should have a handout from me. I'm a math educator, so it's probably the ugliest looking one that you have up there. Not colorful at all, but very linear, I can assure you. I put together some information for you about pricing. When it comes to the materials, we're thinking about budget as we look into all these different kinds of funds and lack of funds. Oftentimes, teachers don't get access to pricing because we as a district think like, why would they? We're going to decide what's best for kids, right? Prior to coming to Math Nation, I actually was the head of mathematics for K-12 in Duval County, and I thought the same thing. But recently, I've discovered a rule change from the state that allows us to say anything that we don't use in instructional materials funds can be used for technology equipment. And what do we need right now across the state? Technology equipment across our nation. So that's actually something new I did not know until I took this role, studied some things, contacted some legislators to confirm that rule. And so I just wanted to mention, when you're looking at pricing, you're talking about almost a $500,000 savings with Math Nation. And if it's coming close to score, why shouldn't we consider cost? Because we can use that for technology and then use those non-categorical funds for teacher salaries, facilities, things that we may really need in the classroom because of a rule change that we just didn't really know about. So I wanted to just bring that to the school board's attention because it isn't a popular opinion, but it is actually stated in law. So I wanted to bring that information out because we want to make sure everybody's aware that pricing matters because we can free up dollars for other things that we so desperately need. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments. Okay, at this time, board, we are going to take a motion and a second on the recommendation to adopt the proposed text of mathematics. May I hear a motion and second, please?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Kelly. Moved by Mr. Kelly, second. Second by Mr. Troy Ingersoll. Is there any discussion, board? Seeing no discussion, we will take the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And at this time, we will close our proposed agenda public hearing. All right, we're going right on to the special orders of business. Mr. Gent, please lead us in that.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Call Lydia Barton up to our special orders.
Good evening, Madam Chair, school board members, Superintendent Gent. At this time, I'd like to invite Deb Mock and Roger Priest from the Fort Pierce Kiwanis to share information with us about the winners of the St. Lucie County Fair displays.
Good evening, board members.
welcome.
My name is Deb Mock. I'm here tonight representing Fort Pierce Sunrise Kiwanis Club. Our mission for this club is to improve the lives of children one neighborhood at a time. Kiwanis International states that we do about 150,000 projects all over the United States and the world for children. So we're here tonight to celebrate all of the displays that were on for show at the St. Lucie County Fair this year. We have in front of you the first place winners. And I'm going to call their names out, and we will be presenting someone from their clubs, from their schools, a check, and hopefully we'll get a picture with them. Before we start with the first place winners, I do want to do a special thank you. We had a lot of partners in this endeavor, and we had judges that we asked to come, one of which was Mrs. Hawley. She comes every year and judges for us. It was very tough this year. We would like to thank Gertrude Walker from the elections office. She provides the voting machines for us. Christine Iannotti from the St. Lucie County Fair. And a great big shout out to our poll volunteers. We do vote with the voting machines from the supervisor of elections, and the retired teachers of St. Lucie County are the ones who come and watch for those voters as well as the Kiwanis members. So,
Okay, Ms.
let's-
Mock,
yes.
we're going to come down as a board to greet them
oh,
as well.
that's fantastic. Thank you. Also, we want you to know $7,000 in donated funds goes towards this for the children of St. Lucie County. We're very proud of that. We also, the Kiwanis also give a $1,000 donation to the Education Foundation for a scholarship for a Key Club member. And we also do a donation for the Dr. Seuss Day here in St. Lucie County that we present to 2 of our elementary schools. Okay, so first place winners, Lawnwood Elementary. This year was very exciting for us. The theme this year was Dream Makers, Art, Academics, and Athletics, and the displays were incredible this year. Our next first place winner is Palm Point K-8. Also, we'd like to let you know that each school that will be getting $1,000, the donor was Garber Buick GMC, and they are very good at helping us out every year, so we'd like to acknowledge them. Lydia, just hit enter for the next one. Okay, now for our second place winners that we have $500 each for them, and this is from Dermody Pediatric Dental. So if Morningside Elementary would come up to receive their $500. And Northport K-8. Great job. Our next category is our third place winners. This is a $250 award from Richard K. Davis Construction Corporation. Village Green Elementary, would you come up? And St. Lucie West K-8. If you weren't able to come out to the fair this year, please make sure you come next year so you can see the wonderful job the schools do with this project. Okay, the next award is for the schools who maybe didn't adhere to the theme very well, but they still had outstanding displays, and we call that out of the box. And we would like to give this award for, is it $250? $250 to Windmill Point Elementary. And to Manatee Academy K-8. Sponsored by Gertrude. Fair. And this award is sponsored by the Fair Association. They are the ones who provide the funds for that. Our next award is the People's Choice Award. And let me explain this, because this particular school won 2 awards this year. This is Dan McCarty, and they won People's Choice. That's when each of the people that come through the building vote for their favorite school display. So Dan McCarty won for that, and we added a brand-new award this year from the Kiwanis Club ourselves, and it is called the Kiwanis Pick Award. It is sponsored by, Roger, help me out, OCI Construction, and the People's Choice Award. This award will be $1,000 for People's Choice and $250 for Kiwanis Pick Award. I think you can tell from all the pictures, all the work that goes into these displays. They are absolutely incredible. And finally, we do not have pictures for the next award. They are the high school awards. We at Kiwanis made a decision this year to shift what we were going to do in the high schools. And with the help of the school board, especially Lydia, I have to really thank her for all her help this year in helping us decide what to do. Each of the 5 high schools in St. Lucie County were able to display their attractor programs and come and present one night during the fair. Students from those programs came and presented in a booth so that the people that were walking through the building were able to see what attractor programs were at each high school. And I thought that was really neat, because maybe a middle schooler doesn't know where they want to go yet. So they were able to look at these programs and hopefully make informed decisions. So for each of those high schools this year, we will be giving all of them that participated a $350 award. So the following high schools: Fort Pierce Central High, Fort Pierce Westwood Academy, Lincoln Park Academy, Port St. Lucie High School, St. Lucie West Centennial, and Treasure Coast High School. I'm sure that the awards will get to the proper schools, and we'd like to thank you and look forward to next year and presenting more monetary awards to the schools that do outstanding work. Thank you so much.
All right, at this time, we will move forward with our star presentations. I'm not sure if any individuals will be here or not this evening. However, the first individual is Evelyn Stover. She's a curriculum developer from the Office of Teaching and Learning, and she was nominated by Principal Brad Lehman. They wanted to recognize, is Evelyn here? They wanted to recognize Evelyn Stover for her recent support of a new ESC teacher. She provided face-to-face support in addition to materials over the course of several days. She arrived at Village Green with a warm smile and supportive nature to help with effective strategies and alleviate the teachers' concerns. And for that, Village Green is truly grateful. So congratulations, Ms. Stover. We'll make sure she gets her award. The next individual is Shelley Welby, a school psychologist who was nominated by her colleague, Sharon Becker. Ms. Welby has worked tirelessly in the school district for over 20 years as a psychologist. She has mentored numerous incoming psychologists, helped to get them up and running. She's a trainer for signs of suicide and has trained the staff and students on warning signs for many years. She is a mental health first aid trainer and has been instrumental in training St. Lucie teachers and staff. She is also a behavior analyst and assists in PTR trainings and implementation of the behavior intervention process. The department is truly appreciative of her hard work. So congratulations to Ms. Welby. And last but certainly not least, we have Leslie Solek. She is a school social worker and she was nominated by Principal Heather Ricksecker. Ms. Solek goes above and beyond for the students and staff at Fairlawn Elementary. She helped to coordinate donations for a family in need after a devastating house fire. She also supports the students through her amazing groups at school, really connecting and forming strong relationships with the students. Her impact is great, and they are very blessed to have her. So congratulations to Ms. Solek. And at this time, as you transition back to your seats, I'd like to ask Stacy Kaysen, Program Specialist, to join us at the podium to read the National Child Abuse Prevention Month proclamation.
So good evening, board members. What we'd like to do is read a proclamation designating April 2022 as Child Abuse Prevention Month. Whereas Florida's bright future depends on the healthy development of children, and whereas adverse childhood experiences, including the abuse and neglect of children, can cause severe and costly consequences for children, families, and society as a whole. And whereas every child has a right to a safe, healthy, and happy childhood where they are educationally and developmentally on track. And whereas research shows that parents and caregivers who have support systems and know how to seek help in times of trouble are more resilient and better able to provide safe environments and nurturing experiences for their children. And whereas it is vital that individuals, businesses, schools, and community organizations make children a top priority and take action to support the physical, social, emotional, and educational development of competency of all children. And whereas during the month of April, Prevent Child Abuse Florida, in collaboration with the Florida Department of Children and Families and the Ounce of Prevention Fund of Florida, implements Pinwheels for Prevention. And whereas Pinwheels for Prevention is a statewide coordinated campaign aimed to increase awareness of child abuse prevention efforts by encouraging healthy child development, positive parenting practices, and community support. And whereas the blue and silver pinwheel displays in this campaign symbolize the health and happiness all children deserve. And whereas Child Abuse Prevention Month is an important opportunity to urge all Floridians to engage in activities that strengthen families and communities and that provide the optimal environment for healthy child development. Therefore, the School Board of St. Lucie County, Florida does hereby proclaim April 2022, as Child Abuse Prevention Month and urges all personnel to support child abuse prevention efforts throughout our community and our state. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Carson. Board, the superintendent recommends the board adopt the proclamation designating April the 22nd as National Child Abuse Prevention Month and Autism Acceptance Month.
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Hawley. Second by Mr. Ingersoll. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Proclamation has been approved. Thank you, Ms. Carson. I think we deserve a hand clap for this proclamation.
And at this time, I'd like to invite Anne Marie Mizuraki, an ASD program specialist, and Trevor Sparacio, a teacher from Oakhammock K-8, to read the Autism Awareness Month resolution.
Hi, good evening, Madam Chairman, members of the board, and Superintendent Jen. My name's Anne Marie Mizuraki, the program specialist for autism spectrum disorders for St. Lucie Public Schools. I'd like to thank you for allowing us to highlight April as Autism Acceptance and Awareness Month. I would also like to introduce Trevor Sparacio. Mr. Sparacio is a 7th grade civics teacher at Oakhammock K-8 school, and he's going to read the resolution tonight.
Good evening, Madam Chair, school board members, and Superintendent Gent. My name is Trevor Sparacio, and I am a 7th grade civics teacher and the Raptors team leader at Oakhammock K-8 school. I'm sure you're all wondering, why is this teacher standing up here and making a speech about autism awareness and Autism Acceptance Month? Well, that is because I am on the autism spectrum. I was diagnosed with autism at the age of 2. My mother right away put me in early intervention programs, speech and language programs, occupational and physical therapy. I was nonverbal until the age of 4. Now the joke is in my family is that I make up for lost time. People look at me now and see how neurotypical or normal I look to everyone. It has taken a lot of acceptance, guidance, hard work, love, and support to get me to where I am today. But there are things that I'm still learning in my life every day. I have had not only an amazing support team personally, which I want to give my mother, I want to give a shout out to my mother and my brother Justin, who is an ESE support teacher at Fairlawn Elementary. But I have an incredible support team of administrators and colleagues at Oakhammock K-8 school who have made time out of their already very busy schedules to get to know me and to show support. My former principal, Mrs. Galloway, and acting principal, Mrs. Lee, are my mentors and inspirations for me. They have taught me that feedback is a gift, that I should apply teaching using love and logic, that I should think of the bigger picture, and most importantly, I should seek to understand than to be understood. These are quotes that we as a society need to follow more. I have overcome many barriers through my own day as a student and have turned those experiences into strategies to enhance my own teaching. I understand what it means to struggle, what it means to be different, what it means to persevere and overcome. I'm a team leader who works hard every day to hone in on my leadership skills. I am involved in every aspect of our total school. I'm the first to volunteer and support a cause, and I will be the last man standing to complete a job. I am on the SAC committee, PBIS team, faculty council, safety committee, and I am a leader on our PTO team. I'm a strong believer in SEL and building strong relationships with my colleagues and students. I'm now currently going to school for my master's degree to pursue a degree in educational leadership. In the words of Rita Pearson, every child deserves a champion who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection and insists that they can become the best that they can possibly be. I'm a strong believer in our school district's motto, every child, every day, and I will continue to do my very best to serve our community, school district, and most importantly, our students. I may be different, but I'm not less. Thank you for listening to me and giving me the opportunity to speak on behalf of not only the children with autism, but adults as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sparacio, for that speech. It was incredible what you just said, and that is why we say all children are capable of success, no exceptions, and because the treasure is in each of our children, and you have proven that the treasure is in you. Thank you so much for that resolution.
Thank you, Madam Chair. May I please read the Autism Awareness and Acceptance Month proclamation?
Yes, and I don't think you'll have any problems with us accepting it.
Okay. Whereas autism spectrum disorder is a neurological difference that can affect anyone regardless of race, ethnicity, gender, or socioeconomic background. And whereas autism spectrum disorder affects 1 in 44 children in the United States and approximately 900 students in St. Lucie County schools as of 2022. And whereas males are almost 4 times more likely to have autism spectrum disorder than females. And whereas autism spectrum disorder is estimated to be the fastest growing developmental disability in the United States by the Center of Disease Control. And autism and developmental disabilities monitoring. And whereas individuals with autism are individuals first and foremost with unique skills and abilities. Whereas symptoms and characteristics of autism spectrum disorder present themselves in a variety of combinations and can result in lifetime impacts of an individual's ability to learn, develop relationships, and understand verbal and nonverbal communication. And whereas early diagnosis and intervention, as well as the ongoing support from family, doctors, therapists, and educators can positively impact people on the autism spectrum disorder to better achieve outcomes and a higher quality of life. Whereas people on the autism spectrum disorder should have access to appropriate services throughout their lifetime so that they may achieve their greatest potential and lead happy and productive lives fully included within their communities. Whereas the school board of St. Lucie County prides itself on being pupil-centered, and where our schools and communities are committed to developing our programs and providing services that meet the diverse academic and social needs of all of our student body, including those with autism. Now and therefore, be it resolved, the school board of St. Lucie County, Florida, does hereby proclaim that of April as Autism Awareness and Acceptance Month, and urges all personnel and students to participate in Autism Awareness and Acceptance Month activities in order to become better educated on the strengths and needs of those with autism spectrum disorders.
Board, we have heard the proclamation designating April 22nd, April 12th, 2022 as the Autism Acceptance Month. Board members, may I have a vote?
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Hawley. Second by Mr. Ingersoll. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We will move on forward to our easel report. It's Mr. Freeman. Okay, come on up. That's okay. Come on up and give us your report.
Good evening, Madam Chairwoman, School Board Members, Superintendent Gent. I'm Jennifer Kincaid. I am representing ESOL, and I'm the Vice President of the ProTech Unit for the Education Association of St. Lucie County. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of ESOL and behalf of Mr. Freeland, who's usually here. The teacher's salary increase allocation from the state recently designated that 50% of those funds be used to increase the new teachers' salaries to the minimum salary of $47,500, and the other 50% be used for other teacher raises. And we know our teachers do important work. And given the proclamation we just heard for autism awareness, it only seems appropriate that I share a quote from Dr. Temple Grandin, and she said, "I cannot emphasize enough the importance of a good teacher." During salary negotiations, we've been doing our best to take care of everyone. And I'd like to mention that the TSIA does not include employees who are part of the classified nor the ProTech units. The employees in these units are assets to our teams, and they also do important work for the students in our community. So they consist of people, paraprofessionals, behavior technicians, information technology specialists, among others. And they too work tirelessly for our students, both directly and indirectly. Some of them behind the scenes and are never even seen by our students, but nonetheless, they're part of our team. Another mention I'd like to make is the recent increase of minimum wage to $15 an hour. And as we look to adjusting the pay scales to reflect the new minimum wage, I just want to bring to the forefront the importance of thinking about potential unintended consequences. So specifically, there is the potential to compress the pay scale so that as those with less experience receive increases, that we don't want to leave our veteran teachers and those with experience behind. So it's imperative that we honor our veteran teachers and employees. We need to continue to place value on both experience and retention. There's already been a tremendous amount of work that's been done among the negotiating teams on both the side of the district and ESOL with contract and compensation negotiation teams, and for that, we're very grateful. I'd like to thank everyone for their efforts. Every single person on that team has done an outstanding job, and it truly has been collaborative. We recently ratified our very first pro-tech contract, which was a very exciting moment to be a part of. And we look forward to continued collaboration and collaborative bargaining as we begin negotiations for the upcoming school year, despite the fact that it seems like we just finished the negotiations for this school year. It's a never-ending process. So thanks, everybody, for your tireless efforts.
Thank you, Ms. Kincaid. We
Thank you.
appreciate your report.
Thank you very much.
At this time, we have the CWA report, if there's anyone in the audience for that report. Seeing that there are none, we will go right to the St. Lucie Public School Youth Advisory Council by Mr. Christian Baca.
Madam Chair. Madam Chair.
Yes.
Before Christian speaks, I'd like to, point of order, to call on Ms. Hawley. If everyone will look to the screen, you can see these are the schools that Christian has accepted to.
Can we please stand up for this young man right now and give him a... Ms. Hawley.
Actually, these are the 7 Ivy League schools. He was accepted to every single one of them, in addition to multiple other universities across the great United States. I've had the pleasure of working with Christian and getting to know him over almost the last couple of years. And the leadership he exemplifies for all students has just been truly heartwarming. So we wanted to take an opportunity to surprise him because he has surprised us many, many times with his ability to think through issues and just really be a voice for the students. Can I share where you're going?
Yes, you can.
Okay. He's made his decision. He's going to Harvard. And he actually today had the nerve to send me a text and say, Mrs. Hawley, I don't think I can preside at the next Youth Advisory Council meeting because I have to go to Harvard and meet my team. So we are going to excuse him for that. But Christian, you have such a tremendous support team here in St. Lucie County that you have built and will carry with you to Harvard and to all the great places that I know you will go. You've been an inspiration, and when I grow up, I hope I can be just like you.
Thank you so
And
much.
I've told them how to properly say the name of the school, right?
Yep.
Harvard. Harvard. Okay.
Thank you so much. I on behalf of the students here, I truly say that being in this position would only be possible with the countless teachers who have been my support system throughout my educational journey, and especially Mr. Mayo, who always comes to my school board meetings. Thank you. All right, so moving on to my Youth Advisory Council report. So this past month, our council held our regular March meeting at St. Lucie West Centennial High School, where we dedicated our time to discuss how we can restructure our council to address any unforeseen nuances in our operation. With over 6 months of successful operation, our council members have raised concerns and suggestions as to how our council may operate more effectively. In the coming months, we hope to introduce our 2022 to 2023 cohort of Youth Advisory Council members. Hence, our focus on addressing organizational concerns is ever more important so that our prospective council members are able to effectively operate in the next school year. Similar to the school board, our council plans on implementing council workshops to offer an informal setting where council members have the opportunity to discuss and relay ideas outside of the regular meetings. We have found that limiting council proceedings to one monthly meeting does not offer sufficient time to cultivate the ideas our students are eager to implement. Furthermore, our council discussed the establishment of issue committees to focus council efforts on particular issues such as transportation or student equity. Our council members also expressed interest in expanding Youth Advisory Council representation in regards to our proceedings. We are excited to begin communication with our middle school student government associations to receive their input concerning district and school-wide policies. We hope to host meetings and student-based forums where we can interact directly with our younger students and receive their outlook on issues and concerns. These are just a few ideas our council members are proposed, which serve as a reminder that our council's room for improvement is never complete. When I first set out to create the Youth Advisory Council, and I'm sure many of you are also familiar with this, what I thought would work was far from perfect. However, the collaborative environment of the Youth Advisory Council has offered a responsive outlet of council-wide development and reform. As my tenure as chairman of the Youth Advisory Council nears its end, I'm excited to welcome the next generation of student leaders who will fill my shoes in my absence and will advance the council's cause. Our penultimate meeting will be held at Port St. Lucie High School, and an official day and time will be established in the coming days. Lastly, during these stressful times for our students and teachers, on behalf of the Youth Advisory Council, we would like to wish our students great success throughout the testing season. Thank you.
Chairman Backer, would you please come forward? We'll ask the board to stand up. We're going to take a photo of you and also of your mentors and the adults that have helped you do what you did this year. He is our first chairman for the St. Lucie County Youth Advisory Council for all of our high schools. So this is history. So please come up, Mr. Becker. Okay, and we're gonna take a photo shot. And where's your, I know you always have your, Mr. Mayo. And I believe Ms. Hawley has gone down to be with him. And if we can just squeeze together, or maybe we might need to go down. Okay. Is this good, Lydia? We okay with this?
You're fine. You balanced it well.
Congratulations again. Okay, we just did history here tonight. So all of you that are here, you were part of history. All right, we're going to go right down to our next agenda item. And it's the adoption of the consent agenda. Superintendent's recommendation. I need a motion first and a second to adopt the consent agenda as present. So moved, Ms. Hawley, second, Mr. Ingersoll. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Superintendent, may we have your recommendation?
Recommend the board approve the consent agenda as submitted.
Okay, superintendent has recommended the board approve the consent agenda as submitted.
Second.
Okay, are there any items that need to be removed for discussion? Seeing none, we will go right into our vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0 for the consent agenda. Okay, we now have before us our informational reports. Item 18, we have the district piggyback contract list for 21-20. And this is in lieu of requesting competitive solicitations from 3 or more sources. The district school boards may make purchases at or below the specific prices from contracts awarded by other city or county government agencies, other district school boards, cooperative bid agreements, when the proposer awarded a contract by another entity defined therein will permit purchases by a district school board at the same terms, conditions, and prices awarded in such contract, and such purchases are the advantages of the district school board. So at this time, we are just presenting these reports as informational. And also, we have informational reports before us from, for our financial reports for February 2022. We have a charter school monthly financial reports, Renaissance Tradition, Renaissance Charter School Tradition, Independence Classical Academy, Somerset St. Lucie, and Somerset Bethany. And we are not voting on this. This is, school boards do not vote for their charter school financials, but you have it before you for the informational report. At this time, we're going to ask our superintendent for our superintendent and staff reports on select topics. Superintendent Gent.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This time it gives me great pleasure to introduce 4 individuals in new roles and new positions. First off, our new, effective July 1st, our new Deputy Superintendent will be Dr. Helen Wild. Dr. Wild, you want to come up?
Good evening, Madam Chair, board members, Superintendent Gent. I want to express my gratitude for the opportunity to interview and your endorsement as Deputy Superintendent. As you know, I have dedicated my career, my professional career, to St. Lucie Public Schools, and I have reaped such joy from just having an opportunity to influence the students and my colleagues in St. Lucie County. And I am honored to step into the shoes of Deputy Superintendent after such notables as Dr. Jonathan Prince, my friend Sandy Wolf, and one of my early role models, Mrs. Queen Townsend. I am grateful to so many leaders that have shaped me and grounded me as an ethical and servant leader, including James Sullivan, Winston Bailey, Sue Renew, and many others that most people don't remember in this room, although Mr. Gent does. I started as a long-term substitute at Fort Pierce Central with Jim Sullivan and had the opportunity to continue as a teacher and a school counselor with Chuck Hill and Gloria Johnson, and then moved to Dan McCarty Middle School when we were rebranding. That was a very exciting time before opening Centennial as an assistant principal. And then I had the good fortune, when Mr. Gent had the good fortune of moving on to Palm Beach County for a little while, of replacing him at St. Lucie West Middle School, where he had created a wonderful culture. And I had that great 5-year experience as principal there before having one of the highlights of any school leader career. And that was the opportunity that I was afforded from Mike Lannon to open Treasure Coast High School, start it from vision to completion, and be able to stay there for 6 years and watch that culture thrive, and the community to support it and traditions to take hold. I need to express my sincere gratitude to everyone in the Office of Teaching and Learning. They make me look good every day, and I thank them for that. Each of them have become leaders in their fields, and they approach every day with a sense of urgency and integrity and service to others. I also want to thank our amazing school-based administrators, our teachers, our support staff, and our bargaining members for their professionalism and dedication to students. And I am very fortunate to be able to work with a fantastic, supportive, cooperative cabinet as well. Last but not least, And the reason I have notes, because I could not forget to thank my amazing family, the love of my life, Ray Wild, who is my rock, as well as my 3 beautiful adult children, Morgan Wild and Morgan and Allison Roberts, both graduates of St. Lucie Public Schools. I want to do a shout out to Nolan and Cooper. Nana loves you if you're watching. And also, Dr. Prince, I appreciate this opportunity, and I look forward to continuing the soaring success of St. Lucie Public Schools through times that I believe are going to be some of the most challenging for public education, but we will do it as a team with innovation and grace. Thank you.
Next, like,
Is any of her family members here? No. Okay.
no rocks. No rocks in here.
They support me, but always
Now, it's my pleasure to call up, we are for the new job description approved tonight by the school board, Mr. Dan Frank, who will be assuming the responsibility of Chief of Schools.
Well, good evening, Madam Chair, distinguished board members, and Superintendent Gent. I want to thank you for your leadership and for the opportunity and honor to serve the students, the staff, and the community of St. Lucie Public Schools as the Chief of Schools. I wanted to take a moment and recognize a few people. Mr. Gent, thank you for being my mentor. You taught me that you need to take care of people first because people matter the most. I'll never stop being grateful for the guidance and all that you've instilled in me, and thank you for being a truly exceptional leader. Dr. Prince, thank you for always pushing me in everything you've taught me, and you're an amazing boss, mentor, and teacher. I want to thank all the principals and administrators for letting me be part of their team and for all that they do for their students and their staff. I'll always be in your corner. I wanted to say a special thank to my wife, Kathleen, who's sitting over here, and our 2 boys, Braden and Dane, for always being understanding when I had to sometimes put the students first. I need to give a very special thank you to my parents. My mom and dad, I know you're watching. I thank you for all the sacrifices you made so I could stand here today. And I promise, I'll do all that I can to make you proud. I count my blessings every day that I get to work with the most incredible team of administrators, teachers, and support staff that we call St. Lucie Public Schools. I'm a dedicated educator devoted to ensuring that every student receives a high-quality education in a caring and nurturing environment. And I believe we're in the business of opening doors and creating opportunities for children. I'm an advocate for all students, and I focus on closing achievement gaps to ensure every student can reach his or her goal. I'm proud to be part of and serve St. Lucie Public Schools. I promise to put our students first, support our staff, partner with our community so we can continue our tradition of excellence. Thank you very much.
Mr. Frank, can we have your dear wife stand, please, so that we can recognize her? And we also say hello to Mom and Dad, wherever you are, Mom and Dad.
Next, I'd like to bring up Ms. Marcy Lucky, who will become the new director of ESE.
Good evening, Madam Chair, board members, Superintendent Gent, and I hope not out of order, Dr. Prince. I am honored to have the opportunity to just say a few words concerning my appointment as the Director of ESE Services. It is amazing how a career in St. Lucie County can change with just one hiring process. I began my general education career as an ESE teacher, moved up to a school-based ESE specialist, and even had the opportunity to work as a district ESE program specialist for just a little while. At this point, I moved to an administrative track, serving as an assistant principal, as well as a principal here in St. Lucie County. Never did I even imagine that I would have the chance to combine all of my experience into one position, which is the ESE director, but it happened. I am so proud to be a part of the growth happening here in St. Lucie County, and my goal every day is to do as I did when I played basketball, leave it all on the court. This means to me to give everything that I have every day to make a difference in our children's lives. Thank you for entrusting some of St. Lucie County's most vulnerable to me. I consider it an honor and a privilege to serve in my new position, and I look forward to great things continuing to come from our exceptional student education department. Thank you also to my amazing husband for 30 years and my two beautiful daughters that join me here today. I would be nothing without them. And Dr. Prince, not Dr. Prince, Mr. Frank has been my rock. That is my supervisor, and I love him so much, and he's done so much to help me along in my path. Thank you so much for your time.
Ms. Marcy, can we please have your family to stand so we can recognize your beautiful family?
Again, my husband Troy, my daughter Michaela, and my daughter Mariah, graduates of Fort Pierce Central High School.
Oh, yes, my husband would love to hear that. You can say that again. Okay.
Have one more, and welcoming a newcomer to St. Lucie Public Schools, Esther Rivera, who will be the Director of Student Services.
Good evening, Madam Chair, board members, Superintendent Gent, and Dr. Prince. I am truly honored and sincerely appreciative to have been given the opportunity to serve the students of Port St. Lucie Schools as Director of Student Services. My lifelong passion has been to help others. By serving this capacity, I hope to have a direct and positive effect on our school community. I would like to extend a loving thank you to my family, my mother and sister who are watching from Palm Beach County, my father who's watching from Puerto Rico, and my 3 children, Adalia, Junito, and Ezekiel, who have been extremely supportive throughout my career and this new venture. Additionally, thank you to the Palm Beach County School District for believing in me these past 16 years and growing me to serve and become a fearless leader. In the words of Susan Wright, when we nurture a child's whole being, we open doors to endless possibilities. I will strive to open doors for all children, children like my son Junito, who is severely autistic. Gracias.
And Ms. Rivera, does she have family here? Your family's not here, okay. Okay, well, hello, Ms. Rivera's family.
That concludes my remarks.
Attorney Molly, do you have any attorney reports this evening?
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. There is no attorney report tonight.
Thank you, Attorney Molly. School board members, we're going to start with Mr. Ingersoll and work our way down the line.
No report tonight, thank you.
Okay, Ms. Holly? All right.
I'm good. I just want to congratulate your appointments, John. I think you did a great job. They all have great smiles, and good luck to you all.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Ms. Jennifer, no report. Okay. And I am not going to give any report tonight except to congratulate each of our appointees, and we look forward to just a wonderful year, upcoming year with all of the different departments here. This has been a great night, and it's been a great program, and we want to say thank you to the Kiwanis as well as others who have done so much for our school district. I had an opportunity to go to the fair a few times and see the tremendous work that our schools projects. I mean, they were just really unbelievable artwork. And so we recognize the Kiwanis in your work here with our school district. Thank you so much. Okay, at this time, we are going to have our scheduled speakers. We have Dale Galliano. Would you please come forward? Ms. Galliano, welcome. You do have 5 minutes, and our attorney will keep the track of time.
I'm going to start with 2 Corinthians 5:10. For all of us must appear before Christ to be judged by him. We will each receive what we deserve according to everything we have done, good or bad, in our body of life. We're all going to have to answer. How are you going to answer? Good evening. First, I'd like to thank Superintendent Gent for meeting with us this past week. All things considered, some interesting insight was given. It is clear that all of you want to do the best thing for our children, not wanting anything to harm them. Yet, that's where it seems to end. Good intentions. Blind eye on sin is still sin. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. We still are guilty. The more we find out, the more we see smoke rising around every corner. Pulling the books isn't enough. You have to do something. It's been 8 months. I know there's Christmas, I know there's Thanksgiving, but it's still 8 months. Yes, we know that there is a superintendent change coming. Yes, we know the school year is ending and there are testings. Yes, we know that the Florida Commissioner Corcoran is stepping down this month. Yes, we know that DeSantis signed HB 1557 and HB 1467 for parental rights and term limits. And yes, we have read those. In fact, we were personally in Tallahassee when session was being heard, and Senator Gruters, the Education Commissioner, Aaron Grawl, who's going to be our next senator here, Representative Cord and his wife Bird, Esther Bird, we were able to sit down and talk with them at great length on all of this stuff. So it's not, there's nothing that we are not aware of as far as what's going on yet. The main thing that we have is the transparency and safety for our children. And yes, we also know when smoke is being blown, and the question is why. Now, we've been told to get ready to start appeals on some of the illegal books. Really? I've been here since August 10th, 2021. From September 14th, 2021 through today, 8 months, I have spoken on the 20 books for removal. As yet, only 5 have been removed. Why? Now we're told the very last book is about to be done. Cheers. Meaning that all the others have already been evaluated. If they have been done, why haven't they been put forward to you, Mr. Superintendent? And the board, and me, the one that actually is put in the challenge. Now here's the interesting part. Of the remaining books you have in your possession, all had a minimum of 8 and as many as 13 pages given, number of pages given, to show infractions that are in the Florida state law and statutes. No, it's not if they're illegal, it's because they are. No gray area, no room for manipulation that seems to be in the smoke. You hear me month after month quoting on each of these books. Did any of you hear anything in the quotes that you felt was okay for our kids? I don't think so. What is this? What's going on? This is St. Lucie County, and these books are solid in the breaking of Florida law. There may be more. We don't know. Maybe another day we'll deal with that. But right now, of the 67 counties in Florida, there are over 200 books up for challenge and removal. We have seen national media coverage, screaming irate parents, police picketing, the endless count of court cases that are going on because of exactly these books we are holding right now in this county. All the books that you have in limbo have been banned in the state of Florida due to the statute 847, and throughout the country for that matter, is going as far back as 1980 and as recent as 2018. Yet we wait. Time for you to look around, seeing what's really going on. Take a stand. You did it for 5 books. Do the rest of the books now. We're waiting for what? For Mr. Gent to leave? For Dr. Prince to come up? I don't know. What in the Lord's name are you waiting for? State authorities to get involved? Clear the smoke. Be transparent now.
15 seconds remain.
Done.
Thank you, Ms. Galliano. Miss Susan, would you please come to the podium? Sedeno. And welcome, Miss Susan.
My name is Susan Cedino, resident of Port St. Lucie. Good evening, Madam Chair, Mr. Gent, school board members, Dr. Prince. What I'm about to speak about today, it's not political, it's just something that really speaks to my heart. And hopefully, this isn't something that we're going to have to deal with in our St. Lucie County School Board. There are some things that parents teach children as soon as they're old enough to understand. You don't take candy from strangers, never get in a car with someone you don't know, do not open the door if your mommy and daddy aren't home. These are just a few things I remember my parents telling me and things that I passed on to my children. When the time was right, or when they started to ask questions, where do babies come from, we knew it was time for the talk. We would sit down and tell them about the birds and the bees. Life used to be very simple then. It was kind of like telling them about Santa Claus. You never wanted to tell them too early. You wanted them to believe in Santa Claus as long as they could. It was the best part of being a child. Life was simple and uncomplicated. As parents, we went to great lengths to have our children believe in those things, like the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy. We stayed up until they went to sleep so we could put out the Christmas presents in the Easter baskets and put the money under the pillow for the Tooth Fairy and hope they did not wake up. Our goal was to keep them as innocent children as long as we could. After all, they had the rest of their lives to learn about life. But that is what parent is being about, protecting your children, so much that any parent worth anything would give up their own lives to save their children. I know I would have, and I still today. Today, we're still fighting to protect our children. Only now we're protecting them from the woke world. They want to teach them that there is no such thing as biology, that there is no difference between little boys and little girls. We're not allowed to let boys play with boy toys or girls with girl toys. They don't teach them if we don't teach them that they're born gender neutral, then we're racist. From the beginning of time, whether you believe God created the world or evolution, there were two genders. There was a male and a female, a man and a woman, and that still holds true today. It's the same with the birds, the bees, the flowers, and the trees. If we were all the same, we would have been extinct from the beginning of time, because two of anything of the same sex cannot procreate. Even the annoying Florida love bugs know that rule. Let our children be children. Let them enjoy the innocence of their childhood. Do not put the burdens of the world on their little shoulders. Let boys be boys and girls be girls. I remember a poem back when I was growing up about little boys are made of nails and snails and puppy dog tails, and little girls are made of sugar and spice and everything nice. Can't we just go back to that time and just cherish and love our children and let them grow up first before we start indoctrinating them? Let them decide when they are old enough to make their own choices. If they grow up gay, transgender, or whatever, let it be their choice. We will still love them no matter what their decisions, but let them grow up first. Even the happiest place on earth is fighting us. They no longer greet visitors, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. These changes because they don't want to offend certain populations. But what about the rest of us? I like being called a woman, a female, a mom, a grandma. I take great offense to be calling a birthing person. How is that not racist? Do we not matter? What's next? Will we have to rewrite the story of creation? God on the sixth day of creation created all the living creatures in his own image, man, both male and female. God blessed them. The couple told them to be fruitful and multiply, and gave them dominion over all living things. Genesis 1, 2, and 4. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sedino. Ms. Eddie Evans, you are also a scheduled speaker. You have 5 minutes, Ms. Eddie.
Good evening. My name's Eddie Evans, and I live in Port St. Lucie. The last 2 times I've been here, I have spoken to you and I have asked questions on the Media Center book selections. I want to thank Dr. Wild for reaching out to me and answering my questions. I understand the process and the procedures now. but I am still unsure of the criteria guidelines that are used. I was told times have changed and, ideas change. Well, there are pornography laws under the Florida Constitution, Section 27, and statutes, that 84-7 and the 106. Since we started this process in December, 5 books have been totally removed. Thank you. 14 books are under review by the committee following their policies. When asked about the status of these books, I was told that they are still under review and that they will be done sometime later. Why can't we be told the decision on these books? They've already been through the process. We have to be ready, and we are ready to go out and appeal these if need be. But, we just need a little more information, and so we can get to work on it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Evans, as well. Okay, we have an unscheduled speaker, Umberto, and I don't want to mess up this last name, so Mr. Alberto, would you please come up and give us your